Hello, I'm Brandon Flowers from The Killers. This is Lad Bible's Life Advice. I've got your questions here. Here we go. This one is from Amy from Edinburgh. You say Edinburgh? Edinburgh? How does that make any sense? It's my wedding coming up, and I want to surprise my fiance by writing a song. Can you give me an opening line? Damn, this one might be better for Ronnie.
Come to me is a good opening line. Come to me. Your face looks like come to me.
So this is Juno from Manchester. I don't know if it's Jono or Jono.
Jono? Jono?
I've started balding and my girlfriend has given me the ultimatum that I get a hair transplant treatment or she's going elsewhere. What should I do? She's a cold-blooded beast. It's not your fault that you are losing your hair, and some people actually look more distinguished and even more handsome. Some women like bald men. So you might have to go get yourself one of those. I'm a recent vegetarian. This is from Kevin from Nottingham. Nottingham. I'm a recent vegetarian, but my boyfriend insists I eat his homemade sausage at least once before I fully commit to the cause. How do I handle this sticky sausage situation? Oh man, this is just full of wonderful innuendos.
A sticky sausage situation. This guy's messing with me. Go vegetarian. Stay away from sausage.
A sticky sausage situation. That's a tough one. This is Ego and Vice, episode 113.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, hell, I got the hell out. From time to time, you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crossing the roads is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Hey, this is Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 113. How is everybody today on this rainy, super seasonal, cold kind of October? It's good, right? You can feel the snow coming. And that gets me excited because snowboard season is right around the corner. I actually have a trip booked for the 15th and 16th, I think it is, of December. We are going up to Mont Tremblant, for the first snowboard of the season, and I'm super excited. I can't wait. And it's been so long. I have to put away my bike and unlock my snowboard. And then we're going to go. It's going to be great. What do you guys do for winter? Besides stay inside and hate shoveling and wiping snow, scraping ice off your windows in the morning. Yeah, that's the shitty part, right? Anyway, enough about the weather. What's new with me? I'm going back up to the studio November 9th. Oh, no, wait. November 11th, that's when I'm going back up to finish off the new GOAT record, which is super, super exciting. That'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of the actual recording. I have 19 songs. That's a lot. And I don't know what to do. Originally, it was scheduled for release on October 27th. And then I had to push it back to December 27th because I wanted to record more songs. And now it's going to be this big, massive release. But I'm thinking about splitting it in two and releasing half the new GOAT record December 27th. And then the other half on May 27th, which is my birthday. And then, you could just keep plugging away, I guess. I just hope I don't write and record a whole bunch more songs between the 6 months in between. But lately on Ego and Vice, I have been having this debate with the artists that come on not really debate, just conversation, we'll say, about albums, releasing full records, full albums, or singles, or maybe EPs. What is preferred, or what is the best way to do it? I don't know. I've never had a 19-song project before, so I'm kind of torn. What do you guys think? Why don't you drop me a line? egoandvice@gmail.com and give me your opinion. What do you prefer? Full albums or singles? It seems to be my big topic of conversation lately. I've had it with a couple of bands now on the podcast. So if you're getting sick of it, hey, as you can see, I'm on the fence, so I could use a hand. Thanks. Anyway, on the podcast today, I'm very excited to have a local band. They're called The New Hires. Now, with the stuff I do with local music and also with Ego and Vice and all the amazing artists I meet every day with my projects, the name The New Hires kept coming up. People said, you should check these guys out. And eventually I get around to it, and I did. And I'm glad I did, because went to their Spotify page, listened to the songs they have up there. Awesome band. So I reached out. I got a hold of Max. He's the singer of the band. And I said, let's set something up. Figured it out. They came to Southwood Studio. We sat down. We had a great conversation. And I'm going to play a song from The New Hires. And then after that's done, we'll come back and you can all listen to the conversation we had. All right. That's how this works. This song is called Get Out. It's by The New Hires. My name is Mike. This is Ego and Vice, episode 113. Hey, we're back. This is Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 113. As promised in the intro, in Southwood Studio today, I have a band. I'm very excited that they're here. They are called The New Hires.
Hello.
Hello.
Right on, right on. Thank you so much for coming out. I think the best thing to do is maybe just go around in the circle. Just introduce yourself, what you play, and if you had one record or song or band, pick what you would like, that you can only have one for the rest of your life, what would it be?
All right. My name's Aiden. I play guitar, and I'm gonna blow it up here. Hot Fuzz by The Killers is probably a big one.
My name is Christian. I'm the drummer. I would probably go with The Deer Hunter.
My name is Arthur. Played bass, and I would pick Wolfpack.
Hi, my name is Max, and I'm the vocalist, and I also like to party. No, I'd have to pick Hot Fuss too. I think that's a solid one, but just to be a little bit different, I'll pick Songs of Hers by Hers.
Very cool, very cool. So I did a little bit of research on you guys, and it says here that you actually formed right before the pandemic started.
February 2020, 2020, yeah.
2020, yeah.
Okay, that's a rough date to start a band.
Yep, super great timing.
So, did you guys want to talk about it? Like, what happened? What happened March 2020 with the band? I mean,
well, we were trying to figure out like our lineup at the time. We just found some people on Kijiji. I think Aiden, you had found like half the band. I don't know if it was on Kijiji or not, but yeah, we had just gone through I think 1 or 2 jams. We had no idea what sound, what direction. We were just trying to figure it out. And then I think we jammed one last time in Phil's basement. We had a couple songs come out of that, and then immediately, boom, it just shut down.
Yeah, it shut down, and we lost a couple members. Lost our jam space too. I mean, it was kind of on and on again, off again, kind of like, we would find a drummer that worked, we'd find a bassist, or Phil, the other guitar player, he started on bass, and then I saw him playing guitar, and I was like, "No way, you're sitting on bass, my man. You're better at this than I am. So, you should be on the axe." But yeah, I would say that it really, I think, gave us an opportunity to write. It really gave us an opportunity to be openly creative with each other in a way that I don't think. I think a lot of musicians have echoed this with the pandemic, but. Yeah, I think it was to our benefit, and also I guess to our detriment a little bit, but.
I think it's definitely a familiar story. We all went through it, especially as creative people. You start a band. I wonder what the percentage of bands that are in the same situation that you were in that got together that didn't make it. What was the difference? What kind of kept you together over the few years or 2 years?
I think there was just like a drive for it. Like we had been in bands in the past, and we'd been in the scene in the past, and we know how fun it is. It's just fun to be around with your friends, to goof off a little bit, write some songs, and just see what can happen from it, right? Like, and for this one, I think we had Say First and Foremost, we had Get Out, and we had Whisper, like bits of it, right? Like I remember being in Phil's basement with a blanket over my head, trying to record vocals or makeshift vocals in this sound booth that I created. And I think we just knew that we had something pretty cool going on. We just needed a couple pieces, right? And that's where it was great that we got Arthur and Christian to hop in, right? So
I was just gonna say that the fact that all our personal lives also have been working in parallel in a way that works, because usually when bands break up, it's because someone had to move out, or I don't know, they had a relationship that went wrong, and the life went off rail. So for us, I think it has been just like working well, because everyone has their personal life working well too. So yeah.
Were you guys all friends prior?
So we all met on Kijiji.
I was going to ask that. It said it's like out of the dust,
the depths of
the depths. I was going to say the dust of Kijiji. Same thing. Yeah. So what is that like? Is there like a band search thing, or were you buying some tires off him, or what was happening?
I can start this, I guess. So Max and Phil played in a previous band called
Christian as well.
Almost
Kennedy, but we found each other on Kijiji as well for that one. Like that was the big one.
So at the time, I think Christian was living in Montreal at the time. Yeah. Oh, you had left?
Well, yeah, I left Almost Kennedy and moved to Montreal, and then
Ditched
moved
us.
back in 2021.
Traitor.
Okay, so I saw Max and Phil put up an ad saying, hey, we're looking to start an indie band. I had just moved back to Ottawa from school. And so I hit them up. I said, you know, I moved back and I'm like, I got to get in a band. What am I doing? Like, we're burning time here. And then, so I sent my demos to them. They sent some demos to me and we jammed like twice and then the pandemic hit. So it was weird. It was strange. And then these people that you meet 3 times maybe, and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep it going, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You guys have been in bands before, so you know what it's like to start a band and to kind of get a band going up during a pandemic. Even though you guys were probably separated, probably a lot of online stuff, did it feel like a progression over the course of time? Like things are actually moving.
It was moving.
Were
us,
you
like,
busy? Yeah.
Yeah, we were busy because like a lot of the times like you'd go through the lulls of like trying to find new members, trying to find or solidify certain songs, and there was always progress, but it was moving at a snail's pace, and it was just kind of the hope that something might happen. Because that was a big fear, is like you're putting in all this work, and then like what, you'll never play a show again? Like
Imagine, eh?
right? Like
In those early days, though, in the first like year, we didn't know how long that was going to go. Because at first it was like, what's this going to be? And then we kind of settled in. It's like, this might, the reality is like, this might last years.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah, I think speaking to that, with all of that time we had, and it was moving at a snail's pace, but we had the opportunity to just, Phil and I have home recording setups, so we would just, record an idea, shoot it off to the group and say, hey, what do you think? And, it'd be a yes. Most of the time it was a no, but I think on our back burner, we have, 50, 60 songs probably.
well, that's the hardest part. The hardest part is like trying to develop your sound, and like you're working in your silos and you can't really like kind of build together. Whereas like that's, I think, when we've been best at writing, right? So
I think, it's like what I'm doing right now. I'm writing something by myself, so I'm playing all the parts, and I hire a drummer to play it, but it sounds complete. You know what I mean when it's finished, but something about just getting in a room and you start kind of feeling each other's playing, those little picadillos where you're like, and the drummer goes, or normally it would just be some straight through kind of thing. It's those beautiful little connections, little syncopated parts, right? That is super hard to fake, right? So pandemic, we can talk about that. We all know what happened in the pandemic. We did our best in that. Everything starts opening up, the world, the sun comes up again, and things start moving. You guys are out of the basement. What happened then?
play our first show and all get COVID.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that has been Ego and Vice with no. I actually went to a DOA show. It was the first punk show I went to at the Dom. Got COVID. It was like right out of the pandemic. No one was wearing masks. I'm like, I guess everything, like we knew. Yeah. But we're like, okay, I guess we'll be all right. I got COVID, yeah. Like 4 days later, I was like, what's wrong with me? And tested. That line was so purple. It was it was like glowing.
Well, anyway. The funny thing is I never tested positive, but like all of these guys were dying.
Oh.
And I was also dying, but I just never tested positive. And I'm just sitting at home like, what is going on? Like, what? Why are we doing
Maybe
this?
you had sympathy COVID.
Oh, yeah. It was COVID by association.
That's right. Okay, so once you felt better, what happened?
We just started winging it. I think like that's the big thing that we've been doing so far, and like we're trying to be better at like planning ahead. But we were looking at shows, and we got a really cool opportunity with Spectrasonic for that show in May that we had with guests from Status and a couple out of town bands. And I think it's just we kept at it, and we tried to find ways to integrate ourselves into the community as much as possible. I think like there's so many great bands out there, and there's so many great people. We just started going to shows and started to get to know people. And
I think that's what you got to do. You got network, right? You just start asking people, get to know people, and before you know it, shows come up, offers start coming in. Check your email. Oh, you got a show offer. You know, it's nice when you can kind of pick and choose. It's nice when you can turn one down, or it's just like, maybe not for us, but that's good though. And you've been recording. I know you have 50 or 60 songs.
At various stages of completion.
Well, that's the way it goes, man. I always said if I could get paid for half songs, any songwriter would be a millionaire, right? Anyway, I have more half songs than I got finished songs. When it comes to releasing stuff, I was looking at your Spotify and singles. I had Neon Ghost House on, those guys. They called you the Killers. I heard that part was pretty good. I didn't know who Neon Ghost House was either, but I started hearing the name come up. Started hearing the New Hire's name come up, and I really started getting into the stuff. And I asked them this question too. This is an interesting question for me just because it's a bit of a generation gap, I guess. Again, we're peers, but different. Anyway, singles or full records? What's your thought on that?
I'm an album guy.
You're an album.
I listen to albums more than playlists kind of deal. But I can understand that nowadays with like the attention span being a little lower and stuff like that, it's like I can understand that singles can just like, I don't know, what is it, like throw a lot of stuff to the wall and see what people stick to kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And budget-wise too, like that's the big one. Like there's a threshold of like trying to find that balance between what's good, what sounds great, and what's affordable as well to a point. And that's where like doing an album, once we get a little bit more traction, if we get traction, that'd be sweet to do. But yeah, we got to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that like I think that most people want, or they you go to a show and they say, oh, when are you guys putting out an album, or when are you guys putting out something longer? And this has been working for us so far. So it's, at least for me, partially just like don't try to do something that ain't broke kind of thing, like
For sure. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's
There
it.
it is.
I'm really bad with idioms, but yeah.
You almost got it. That's fine. Hey, I knew what you meant.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you can, depends how you like what you have in the hopper, and then also like what you can always, it's how you release something, right? It's an album, like you can release it as an album, you can release it as 12 singles, right? Or release them one at a time and then repackage them all as an album now on all these streaming services, right? So
one of my things is I'm a record guy too. I like the album. I like releasing the full albums, but to me, releasing singles seems like a way to keep kind of people, if you pace them properly, so it's not like bombarding them like one every week. Yeah. Or you're not too long, like one every 3 months or something like that. For me, it seems like a lot of pressure, because if you're just releasing one song, better be a fucking good song. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of, it could be like a B-side if you release a record, you know what I mean? It's just, but I guess if you're confident in what you do and you like it, that's the main thing. But if, say, you release like a hit, well, whatever a hit is, something that people recognize you for, that they know, you play it last on the set or something like that. How do you top that with just a single, right? It's like, oh, and this is our next single. It'd be like, it doesn't sound like the first one. Next? Oh, there is no next. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm just saying that's just my kind of take on it.
And it's tough. You got to think of the whole package nowadays too. Like that's the crazy thing, like the music video or the visual aspect of it, the whole, marketing side of it.
Presentation is as important as the music that you listen to. About 20 years ago, I had I used to work with 88.5, and a guy named Tom Jackson. You've heard of Tom Jackson? He's like a performance coach, came in, and he did these seminars. And one of his things that always stuck with me, he said, people spend years writing songs, recording songs, putting the album together, then releasing them, and then they take 15 minutes to prepare to get on stage. Yeah. Right? Which goes well with my next kind of theme, is that you guys actually have a presentation. You're very formal almost.
Some might say.
Yeah, but you don't just go up there, you don't just roll out of bed, and go on stage. You have a presentation. The new hires, you'll know it's them. What's the origin behind that, or what
the guys in the suits, man?
It works though, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's something that you
Yeah. I think the whole thing was trying to be intentional, because it's exactly what you said. Like we were talking about, like, what can we do to, do something different, right? Not that we're reinventing the wheels like here, but like we're just trying to be someone that, like, when you go see a show, you can recognize us for more than the music. 'Cause for the most part, people who come to the show, they won't remember the lyrics, they won't remember much about the music itself, but they'll remember the experience. They'll remember what they saw. They'll remember how they felt.
Yeah. Very well put. Yeah. I believe in that 100% too, and I think it would be really, really good to, if you do go see shows or you play with people, to just survey who you're playing with or what's going on. So you're saying you're not reinventing the wheel, but it's different. It's something I'd be like, well, I didn't see that last night, and I think that's a great idea. You know, just find an image.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Cool. So on that note, let's play one of the singles we've talked about. This is Save First and Foremost from the New Hires.
Save First and Foremost, coming right at you.
Oh, you say you won't go, darling, well, everybody knows. And I can see you wanna stay on, stay out of it, 'cause everybody knows. And everybody goes along with it, 'cause I don't need to know the same mistakes you made. No, the same mistakes to come, 'cause I stayed home, sat beside my window. I don't wanna stay tonight. And I might go, climb out of this window. I don't wanna care tonight. Oh, you know how this goes. We've been here time and time before. And rumor has it you feel played out with fake plastic skin, 'cause everybody grows up, but nobody really grows out of it. 'Cause I don't need to hear the same excuse you made. No, hear the same excuse to come, 'cause I stayed home, sat beside my window. I don't wanna stay tonight. And I might go, climb out of this window. I don't wanna care tonight. And I stayed home, sat beside my window. I don't wanna stay tonight. And I might go, climb out of this window. I don't wanna care tonight. Oh, you say you won't go, darling, well, everybody knows. And I can see you wanna stay home, stay out of it.
So now that you're playing shows, active shows in Ottawa, I was looking through some of the lists, and I saw places like the Rainbow, House of Targ, Club Saw, Avant-Garde. I also saw that you've toured a bit. You've gone to Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, Kingston. How has the shows been? How do you book them? How's the touring been? How's the response out of town? How's the whole experience of the live stuff?
I handle most of the out of town stuff anyway. A lot of the in town stuff too. But
Booking extraordinaire.
oh yeah. So booking the tour back in March. That was with No Hits. Rest in peace. I love those guys. But yeah, so we went to. It was kind of a 2-weekend ordeal. I was thinking, 6 months prior, because that's how far you have to book things out of town, that, wouldn't it be great if we did a tour? Let's, do the whole rigmarole. We'll go, we'll go south. We'll go to Montreal and stuff. So we divided it between the bands, which was a lifesaver. It's turns out that booking a tour is a lot of work. So I worked with Kian, the singer of No Hits, for that. And we booked the whole thing, and it was a dream. It was we broke even, which was wild for our first tour.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, and
you didn't pay to play? What?
yeah. We it was very surprising.
Gas was only $1.40 that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually walked.
Oh yeah, it's like we rode our bikes with a trailer.
In the middle of March.
What I can say though, if any bands do 3 dates or something down Toronto area, we rented an Airbnb in Hamilton and used that as kind of our home base for the 3 days, which was a dream. It was just, I mean, it kind of sucked for London because we had to drive an hour and a half or whatever it is, but it was fine. It was good. Yeah. It was it was just nice to have the same place to sleep at every night that you knew was good, that you could have put things in a fridge, you know,
have to check out every day.
Yeah. But that was really good. The shows themselves though were, Hamilton was wild. We played Doors Pub, and it's kind of an old school, I don't know, it's like a house
taco joint.
I guess it's a taco joint.
Oh yeah, it was like a church or an old house or something.
Yeah, and it was
zero PAs.
Essentially just like playing in a living room. You go downstairs and say like, hey, we need some mic stands. They say that'll be $20 and we'll give it back to you at the end of the show.
Wow. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it was great. We got people moshing. We played with Sun-Dried Whales, awesome band from Hamilton. Mm-hmm. They've played a few shows up here.
And Felkers as well.
Felkers too. Yeah. But the tour was awesome back in March, and I hope we can do it again this coming year.
I think that's super important. Local shows are fun, but if you're really trying to get give it a go and try to get your name out there and try to be heard, you can play in Ottawa all you want, but touring is where it's where it's kind of at, because your music is accessible everywhere, right? So if they hear you and you're actually coming through and they see that you're actually going to be there, it's the only way to kind of build that you know, I was going to say buzz, but that's not really buzz. It's just to build that fan base, if you will. And I love Ottawa. I you know, this whole podcast is based on Ottawa, but my personal opinion for a band, I think you should only play Ottawa couple, maybe 3 times a year max, because unless it's something awesome, but you can't play every month. It's too much for the local scene, because you're gonna burn your draw out type of thing. And it's like the old saying is, how can they miss you if you don't go away? You know, Ottawa's so good because we are in the kind of center between Montreal, between Toronto, and there's like even playing small gigs in like Peterborough. There's little venues there. I played a coffee shop in Peterborough once, and it was fucking super fun. It was called The Spill. It was right on the main street. Tiny little. They moved the tables, just to have us play. And I don't know, shows like that, they make great memories. They make you a better band, and they get the music out further, just you guys, you know what I mean? So.
Well, that's the big thing you said there right there. Like, makes you a better band. Like, playing Ottawa all the time, to a point. Like, we're super fortunate to have a lot of great people in this community,
of course,
who show up to the shows, and like, you kind of develop this, I guess, this habit of it being like a bit of an easier show every time. Because like when you get out of town, like the first Montreal show we played. Well, I think we played to like 2 people for that one at the most disgusting bathroom in Montreal, as per them. They're very proud of that, which is very true.
This has been documented?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they said it. Yeah, that's what the owner was saying when we were there.
Gross.
And then the second time we were there, I chipped my tooth on the microphone, song number 1, right? Like you get where you get that bubble in front of you, and you're just staring at lights rather than having your buddy just at the front kind of yelling back at you and just being there, right? So...
Well, it's fun, like yeah, for sure, but you can get a little complacent where it's just like you don't even have nervous energy anymore. It's just like, hey, Dave, that kind of stuff. It's nice to be like, fuck, I hope people show up here, you know what I mean? And then you get a few people that are like, oh, you guys are awesome and stuff, and that's bonding.
And it's fun to win over, or at least try to win over a crowd.
100%.
That's the big thing.
Makes you play better. Makes you play better, for sure. That's what it is. It makes you a better band, tighter band, and gives you experience so you can get through like all that stuff, right? So it's very, very good. Dragon Boat. What was that all about? You played with
Why do I have to talk about Dragon
Well,
Boat?
you're
I know
at the
nothing
table.
about Dragon
Dear
Boat. I just
Rouge?
showed up and
Dear
played.
Rouge, yeah. that was unreal.
No, it was really cool.
That was like you show up, they're super organized. They have like a private trailer for you with like a fruit basket, which to me I was like, that's the moment. We made it. We made it. This is it.
That's how I made it.
Yeah, like I can't eat
And
before
chocolate.
shows, but the AC.
Oh.
Yeah, like worst day to wear a suit ever. But like they were like it was just like such a cool experience to have like that much room on a stage to be with like Rebel that have been in the scene for I don't know forever. We played with them back in our old band back in like 2016
Yeah,
or so.
I don't remember that show. You keep pulling it up, but I don't know.
And yeah, it was just cool to like have that much space and like DJ Noah is awesome and like just having him like introduce us for that that was awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like one of those moments that you're never really gonna forget, right? And we had a bunch of our friends out in the crowd, and it was just kind of like a super cool moment.
I thought it was kind of like like an amazing experience, and the staff were like they really knew what they were doing. I remember the sound guy. We like loaded our stuff on stage, and he was just the most chill, relaxed guy. While we're like all pent up. Oh my goodness, this is our first festival show or a show of this kind of caliber, and it was I think pretty like a pivotal moment for the band. I think where it kind of was like oh shit, this is real. you know?
And you get a little glimpse, right, of like it was probably a small percentage of what it could be one day, but it's just like those little things it makes you feel good about what you're doing. I'm a punk rock guy, so I play a lot of dingy bars, a lot of whatever. I was in a band called Hearts and Minds a bunch of years ago, and local bands. Have you ever applied for Blues Fest?
Yep.
Cool. Our band Hearts and Minds applied for Blues Fest, and we got accepted, and we played Blues Fest. This is it must be 10 years ago. Easy. And we played some far off stage in the middle of the afternoon. But your story about the air-conditioned trailer, that's kind of what it was. It had like the photocopied name. Like our band was like Hearts and Minds. It was just Hearts and Minds. Yeah. Spelled it wrong, but it was stuck in this like plastic thing, and it was like, that's us. Yeah. And it was shit like that. And we played the show, and there wasn't that many people, and it rained and stuff like that. But it was a big stage, and I remember when we pulled up to the grounds, these people just ran up to the car and started unloading it for us. We're like, I was just like, this is unbelievable. I started feeling bad. I started like looking for cash, like tip them. Yeah. No, but I remember it was just like, wow, that was really great. And you kind of chase that too, right? It's just that's a great memory to have as a band too, for sure. I guess, I don't know. That's kind of my notes. What do you guys want to talk about?
I think just the scene in general. I think that's
Sure.
a pretty worthy topic. Post-pandemic, the scene has been on fire, at least with the bands that we play with.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I remember pre-pandemic, it was just a grind, and it was everybody for themselves a little bit. And it was just, maybe it was just where I was at with the wrong people, but I found the right people. Mm-hmm. And we've played these awesome shows with other local bands who really give a shit, and everybody's out to support each other. And it's kind of like we're building on each other, and we're challenging each other, and hopefully building something, building each other up.
Well, there's a cool ecosystem. That's what I'd say. Like you have people who like the venues are awesome, right? Like big shout out to all the venues over there. Mm-hmm. The promoters that we work with are awesome. The blogs. Big shout out to Fan Behavior and Neighborhood Noise. Like it's just there's so many people that are involved in so many different facets. Curtis Perry on photography, like Christian Vizno on videos. Like you can name like 1,000 people who aren't going on the stage, but just kind of like are there and just are part of the ecosystem. And like it wouldn't be the same without them.
Everyone has their part in it. Yeah,
and they're excited about it too. Like it's one thing to be excited about your own music or your friend's band's music, but like, somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'm going to start a blog, and then they're also, excited about what you're doing. And it's, it really helps, it really brings a community to get together.
So yeah, the Ottawa scene is thriving. It's amazing. What do you guys foresee, or what would you like for the new hires down the road?
Millions of dollars.
I always knew you were money motivated.
Smell it on you.
No, I think we've talked about this, and it's kind of like we just kind of want to see how far we can take it. I think that's how far, people will be interested, I guess, or how much, because I guess music seems to be such a right place, right time kind of thing. And if you position yourself in that place, hopefully the right time hits, and I think that's what we're kind of at.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're taking it a step at a time. You're like you mentioned Blues Fest, right? Like that's one of the goals that we want, just because it seems like it'd be cool. We want to play Bronson Center at some point if we can, if we're lucky enough, just because it seems like it'd be fun. Like that's the steps that we're taking.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that you guys will accomplish those goals. Some of them, if not all of them, because the music is tremendous. It's really good.
Thank you.
And I'll be honest with you, it's really good. It's really fucking good. It's upsetting. It's that good. Do you have anything coming up?
So we have 2 gigs coming up. We're playing a show hosted by The Space Between on October 26th, opening for Taming Sorry and The Sunset Drip for the charity called Orchestra. And then after that, on the 28th, we have an emo set that we're playing. We're going to be covering Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, cool.
We're also playing in Friday, November 3rd in Toronto at Sneaky D's. Some great bands down there. Javi Goodnight, I believe.
That's a cool club.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any last shout-outs to anyone before we wrap it up?
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh,
today.
hey,
This
man.
Is awesome.
No problem. I'm super happy you guys came out. Just work hard. Don't break up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
take it
you.
easy.
Thanks. Bye.
And I said, hey, I've been wandering around the crowd trying to see your face. Do we see us spill drinks, cigarettes, and lack of grace? 'Cause it's true, I do anything just to feel your embrace. But you know, this life's a race. You've been running circles round my mind 'cause you love the chase. And even though I struggle to catch up, we'll keep the pace. 'Cause holding on by a lace, there's no second place if you don't sing the same way. It's been days, maybe weeks or years. Oh, I just hesitate. There's nothing worse than being left without a trace. Looking for anything 'cause you know I just can't face if you don't say my name. My name. My name. Say my name. My name. Wish the echo around my head bound to never fade away. But the silence fills me up instead, seems to always stay. And acts like a reminder, like clockwork ticking every day. Now that you don't say my name. My
I really want to thank the new hires for coming out. That was a super fun conversation. God damn it, I'm a fan. I try to stay impartial and neutral, but I'm a fucking fan. What are you going to do? If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com if you want to be on the podcast, if you have any questions, if you just want to say hello. Please drop me a line. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can go to anywhere. You can find streaming anything. Just search Ego and Vice Podcast. Trademark. I'm the only one. I'll always be around, always be there. Yeah, it's a very exciting time in Ottawa right now, and Ego and Vice, man, you guys make it way too easy. So I'll keep them coming if you keep coming out. In the meantime, and in between time, see you later, eh?
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.